Hello everyone. Hope you are all in good health and spirit. I'm Ranita, Technical Manager International Business, representing Geolife Agritech India Private Limited. I welcome you all to yet another interesting session where we are going to talk about safe and eco-friendly solutions. So let me just share my screen. Okay, so I hope it is clearly visible. So like I said, today my topic of discussion would be safe and eco-friendly solutions for pest management. Now we all know how there are chemical pesticides available in the market for pest management. Today, let's find out a substitute and an alternative which will be a safer option. Yes, so we are going to talk about management of pest through neem and Karanja formulations. Now, these are amazing botanical extract formulations that are derived from neem and Karanja trees, which are indigenous to India. And most importantly, they have both medicinal value as well as agricultural value. So let's go ahead. First, we'll talk about neem formulations. So importance of neem formulations in agriculture. Now this is really important because nowadays we'll understand why neem formulations are growing, why the demand is growing. So number one point is growing concerns of chemical pesticide residues in agriculture. Now this is a huge problem that all the growers are facing. Residues cause short-term health effects like acute poisoning. Then you have diarrhea. And then long-term health effects are also there, which includes cancer, adverse effects of reproduction, which leads to death also. So there's a lot of chemical load on the crops as well. So farmers are now looking for better, safer options. Then we come to number 2 point, which is neem is widely accepted as a safe biopesticide, and it works as much as 600 pest species. So there's a long list of pest species that it works against. And also, neem does not have any residue problems. So you must be wondering why. So due to the presence of multiple limonoids in neem plant extracts, it helps to provide not only sustainable pest management, but also it prevents plants from disease resistance, which is a major problem that chemical insecticides are causing. And fourth point is market for neem-based pesticides is growing rapidly. Now, I have a report which says that neem pesticide market is growing from 7 to 9% annually. So every year it is growing exponentially. The global neem extract market is booming due to the growing interest of people towards biopesticides, towards bio-based products. Now, neem extract is an import-led market completely, and it mostly depends on exports from India. Now, why from India? Because neem is indigenous to India, and it is widely grown in the Indian subcontinent. Now, the key importers of neem extracts are USA, Vietnam, Korea, Spain, and Italy. The European market is now expected to be a key driver for neem market, and Brazil and Spain are expected to generate significant demand for neem extracts during the years 2020 to 2025. So you see how the entire world is now looking forward to building a safer option. Coming to Azadirachta indica, we come to know something more about the neem plant first. So the neem tree, also known as Azadirachta indica, commonly known as neem tree, or Indian lilac, is a tree from the mahogany family of Maliaceae. Its species, the genus, which is called Azadirachta, specially, it is native to the Indian subcontinent, means it's originated from the Indian subcontinent. Every part of neem tree is useful. We all know that neem tree is very, very useful, be it the leaves, the barks, the extracts, the seeds, the seed kernels, every part of neem is useful. Neem products are believed by Ayurvedic practitioners to be anti-helminthic. It is antifungal, it is anti-diabetic, it is antibacterial, it is antiviral, and it's also used as a sedative. Limonoids present in neem show excellent effect against 600 pest species that we spoke before. And neem bark extracts have been studied regarding its possible activity and mechanism against herpes simplex virus type 1. So we see this neem tree at such a significant value in not only medicinal aspects, but also in agricultural aspects. Coming to the main components of neem, which we call limonoids. So there are four major compounds called limonoids in neem. Number one, the first is azadirachtin, then is salonin, then is meliantriol, and then is nimbin. And here is the structure of azadirachtin, which is quite complex. Limonoids are basically phytochemicals of the triterpenoid class, which is found predominantly in the Maliaceae and the Rutaceae families. Now we'll talk about salonin. This limonoid has a great role to play as an insect growth regulator. It's an anti-feedant, which means it stops the insects from feeding, and a plant metabolite as well. Meliantriol is another feeding inhibitor. Nimbin is much responsible for biological activities of neem oil and is reported to have anti-inflammatory, antipyretic, fungicidal, and antiseptic properties. But the most important compound is this. It is the azadirachtin. Both neem leaves and neem seeds produce this compound called azadirachtin. Azadirachtin was initially found to be active as a feeding inhibitor towards the desert locust. So it was first reported to work against desert locust. It is now, over the time, we've come to know it affects over more than 300 species of insects by acting mainly as an anti-feedant and a growth disruptor. So it stops the growth of the insects, stops the molting stages of the insect, that we'll come to know in the later slides. It was recently found that azadirachtin also possessed some considerable toxicity towards African cotton leafworm, which grew resistant to even Bacillus thuringiensis, which grew resistance to Bt. Now, azadirachtin fulfills many criteria of the much needed good bioinsecticides. It is biodegradable, 100% biodegradable. It shows low or sometimes no toxicity to mammals at all. And hence, it is chosen as the main active ingredient in all neem formulations. Coming to the mode of action of azadirachtin and how it works. Now, insecticides are poisonous. They kill insects directly by affecting the central nervous system and the digestive system. But neem does not directly kill insects. It kind of affects the hormonal system of the plants first and disrupts the growth. So these are the points how it works. It affects the insect's hormonal system. It disrupts the growth. It disrupts the development of eggs, larvae, and pupae. Now, an insect in its life cycle has 4 important stages. This is eggs, then they grow to the larvae, they mold to become the pupae, and again the moth. So moth is the adult stage. The most problematic stages are the larval stage and the moth stage, because these stages, they are in the dormant positions, in the egg and the pupal stages. Sorry. So it prevents mating and sexual communication. Azadirachtin prevents that, and it disrupts the development of eggs. What we are trying to say is, if it disrupts the development of eggs, then it cannot molt into pupae. Now, it cannot mold into the larvae. And then again, in the larval stage, if you spray azadirachtin, it stops the molting there, and it cannot again grow to the pupal stage. Now, in the pupal stage, if it's already reached and you spray azadirachtin there, it cannot molt into the adult stage. So this is how it disrupts the development of the insect in its life cycle. It blocks the molting of the larvae, yes. It deters feeding and blocks the ability to swallow by reducing the motility of the gut. So the gut of an insect is always responsible for the digestion, how they're swallowing, their food metabolism. So if that motility is reduced, then even the feeding habits of the insects is reduced. They cannot feed and they cannot swallow. Then we have azadirachtin also sterilizes adults and prevents females from laying eggs. Now, this is very, very important how it does that. The bodies of these insects, when they absorb the neem compounds, they think they are real hormones, and this kind of blocks their entire endocrine system. Now, what is the result? This results in deep-rooted behavior and physiological changes inside the insect. So when that happens, the insects become entirely confused. They don't understand what is happening. They're confused in their brain. There are some physiological changes, some behavioral changes that starts happening. So when there is a confusion in the brain, they cannot reproduce. And if you do not reproduce, their population starts decreasing. So that's what happens when you spray azadirachtin. Definitely, because of the pungent smell, they have a repelling effect as well. So they repel the larva and the adults. And the molting process is stopped because it reduces the level of the insect hormone called ecdysone. And when that is disrupted, obviously the molting process stops. So that's how is the mode of action of how azadirachtin works. Now, Geolife forays into neem. When there is a question of a safe and eco-friendly alternative, I think we all know Geolife is always the forerunner on that list. Hence, we foray into neem. We have developed an entire series with different grades and ppm, which we call GEONEEM series, with an ideal composition to produce the best of formulations. So we'll get to know a little bit about this formulation. So what is GEONEEM and why should we prefer GEONEEM? How GEONEEM is better than other conventional neem formulations? Because there are lots and lots of neem formulations in the market. So how do you differ the GEONEEM series from them? First, let's find out what is GEONEEM, how you will identify GEONEEM. GEONEEM is a series of neem-based formulations from the house of Geolife Agritech India Private Limited. All grades of GEONEEM are CIB registered, which means they are Central Insecticide Board registered. GEONEEM provides ideal composition. So not only azadirachtin, but it also has some other components which make it an ideal composition. Now, why would you choose GEONEEM? GEONEEM is already an activated product, which means there are certain performance enhancers which are already there in the formulation, which make it more active than normal neem formulations. It is produced from very, very high quality seeds, and Geolife always believes in quality over quantity. So therefore, we have very, very high quality seeds from which these extracts are taken. Better shelf life with stable azadirachtin content. Now, this is very, very important. Shelf life is important because these are botanical extracts, and you need to take good care of it so that it works for a long period of time. And stable azadirachtin content. Now, whenever you are choosing a certain formulation, you will check the percentage of its active ingredient. Now, the active ingredient of neem formulation, as we all know, is azadirachtin. So azadirachtin A and azadirachtin B, these are the two most important components that you got to check when you are buying a neem formulation. So the ppms depend on azadirachtin A and azadirachtin B. So if somebody says we have 3000, we are offering you 3000 ppm of neem formulation, you got to check the percentage of azadirachtin there. So we have all our formulations tested from SGS, which you know is a big laboratory, and they give us the certification of the content. So we always give what we claim. It is a very, very stable azadirachtin content that we give. Now, GEONEEM is also compatible with all kinds of chemicals. So if you want to mix it with any other chemicals and spray it in your crops, it is very much compatible. Coming to the neem and azadirachtin series, so this is the entire series that we have, starting from the EC formulations, that is the 300 ppm, then we have 1500 ppm, we have 3000 ppm, 10,000 ppm, and 50,000 ppm. Then we have the azadirachtin technical 20%, which is also a very important raw material that people procure to make their own formulations. So we also give that. Then we have neem cake palette and neem cake powder, which is also very important for because it works as a very, very good biofertilizer. And then we also have the GEONEEM oil, which is very common and with the azadirachtin content of around 400 to 500 ppm. The most important formulations and the best selling products, I would like to say, is like the 3000 ppm, the 10,000 ppm, and the 50,000 ppm, because these three formulation works to the wide range of pest species. And also azadirachtin technical, if somebody wants to make different kinds of formulations by themselves, they can also avail this particular product. Now, GEONEEM is effective on, it controls both sucking and chewing pests. So where you can use it, you can use it in any agricultural crops, with tomato, brinjal, okra, and leafy vegetables. You can use it on horticulture crops like grapes, pomegranates, banana, watermelons. You can use it in cash crops like cotton and chilies. You can use it in plantation crops like tea, cardamom, coffee, pepper. You can use it against coconut mites. And the dosage, well, the dosage is different for different ppms and different grades. It also depends on the severity of the pest attack, and that's how we recommend the dosage. So whenever you're buying, you can ask us, definitely tell us the stage, the severity of the attack, the ppm that you're taking, and we will accordingly suggest the dosages. Now, Geolife is a reliable partner for best quality and services. So that's why we offer a whole new range of neem formulations. Then we have neem formulations which are in bulk. We provide in bulk and also in retail. We give a very, very competitive price, which gives you a competitive edge. We offer technical support. So if you need any protocols, if you need any help regarding the dosage, we are always there to help you. We give you all sorts of promotional support, like how you can market the products, how you can market the formulations, everything. And definitely because it's neem, it's a botanical extract, we're always in tandem with nature. Now, another compound which is equally popular and it's gaining significant importance in the safe and eco-friendly biopesticide category is Karanjin. Now, Karanjin or the Karanja tree is called Milletia pinnata, which was previously known as Pongamia glabra, is a fast-growing, multi-purpose tree of the humid tropic. It is one of the few nitrogen-fixing trees that produce oil seeds, and which is tree that is grown widely in South India. Karanja seeds are reported in Ayurveda and Siddha systems of medicines for treating bronchitis and chronic diseases. The extracts of the pongam bark, leaf, and seed oil have anti-fedant and repellent effects on insect pests, similar to neem. Karanja has some bitter flavonoids, just like neem had limonoids, Karanja has flavonoids, and they are also 4 types: Karanjin, pongamol, tannin, and Karanjachromine. But the most important one is Karanjin that we use in pest management. Karanjin is the active ingredient of the Karanja tree. Karanjin is reported to have nitrification inhibitory properties. Now, what's that? Nitrification inhibitors are generally chemical compounds that slow the rate of nitrification of ammonia and urea containing fertilizers, which means it helps reduce the losses of nitrogen from the soil, which the crops need. It also acts as an acaricide, means like a miticide, and as an insecticide, of course. Karanjin works as an insect growth regulator, and it acts as an antefidant on the adults and nymph of mites, that's why it's called an acaricide, and other sucking pests like thrips, jacid, and whiteflies, which help it make a good bioinsecticide. Now, Karanjin is suitable for all these kind of crops. You can use it in cotton, vegetables, cereals, millets, pulses, oil seeds, fiber crops, sugar crops, forage crops, plantation crops, fruits, spices, flowers, medicinal crops, aromatic crops, orchids, and ornamentals. So it's a wide range of application. Now, definitely, Geolife forays into Karanjin whenever there is an alternative, which is good. We are definitely there. So we have also created a Karanjin series that is from 10,000 ppm to 50,000 ppm. So there's 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, and 50,000 ppm. We also provide the Karanjin technical, which is 35 to 40%, where you can make your own formulations. We also have the Karanja oil, which is an important one and is extracted from seeds of Karanja. Karanja oil is used in agriculture as well as in pharmacy, and it is the best preferred alternative for neem oil. So if you are not using neem oil, you can use Karanja oil as well. It has very good fungicidal properties as well. Karanja oil is neither carcinogenic, means it does not have any effects in cancer, nor toxic, because it's free from any sort of aflatoxins like B1, B2, G1, and G2. Karanjin is the main active ingredient for Karanjin oil, and it acts as an acaricide, as a fungicide. Karanja oil has several advantages compared to any chemical pesticide, and it is also used for pest control. Karanja Cake is again an important product. It is an excellent organic fertilizer which has unique properties to control soil-based fungal diseases. Karanja Cake provides the crop with essential nutrients while significantly reducing the number of soil-based fungus because it has minimum Karanja content about 800 ppm. Our field research proves that the mixture of neem cake, Karanja Cake has given very good results due to the excellent synergy between the oil cakes. Next week, probably I'm going to take another session on only the cakes, like how they are affecting individually and how the mixtures are affecting and how good it is as an organic fertilizer. So we're going to talk about this even in more detail in my next session. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was a good session for you as a bioinsecticide, for more knowledge of bioinsecticides. If you have any questions regarding neem and Karanja, please put your questions in the comment section below. You can also join us in Facebook, in Instagram, in Twitter, and also leave a message in a WhatsApp. You can email us at info@geolifegroup.com, and we have expertise and experts who have significant knowledge of these two trees and about these products and components. So any questions are really welcome. So thank you all. Till then, see you next time. Goodbye and take care of yourselves.